What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Friday, July 7th, 2023. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. Thanks for being here as always. Hope you had a great week. Happy Friday to you all. And we're going to see that sun, of course, pass over Sirius, fully pass over Sirius, seriously, today. So another Sirius cycle, and that's our dog star. It's our binary star with the sun. So it's definitely like keeping us going. It's the dog days of summer too, so it's like it's hot. We're going through things. We got places to go. We got a guiding light, if you will. So it's about finding that inner, especially in Cancer season, that emotional, that guiding light, that inner ego and presence that keeps you moving forward. And that's an emotion, it's a feeling. It's not so much the persona or what we look like. And we are starting to see the sun build up on its square to Chiron in Aries too. So it's weird. There's these emotional identifications and these feelings pulling us somewhere right now. And then there's also this ego of this exterior, or this, what we're showing to the world, or how we identify certain things about ourselves, maybe from a physical standpoint or an appearance standpoint, that's going through a little bit of a shift too. So starting to get into that. We're also going to see the moon done with Saturn in Pisces today, and it's going to make a really nice trine from Pisces to that sun, and also to Juno at 8 degrees of Cancer. So definitely some really nice trine energy with the sun and the moon in water, high emotion, very sensitive, but also I think willing to follow the emotion, to kind of follow what that guiding inner presence is today, and to act on the authority, but also to know that not everything has to be just acted on or moved upon. Some things are more about just being in the flow. It's like you don't want to be a salmon trying to go upstream all the time and just fighting the current. So it's like really finding where the stream is going, where the trend's going in our life, and taking it easy on ourselves. We can kind of just make a lot of really good things happen today by going with the flow, going with the feeling. It can provide a lot, just in the direction we want to go. It can help us with our faith. It can help us with things that are going on at home. It can help us in our personal lives or spiritual lives. So, which will all come back to the physical, which is interesting too about the physical, because the North Node in Taurus is finally at 0 degrees, and the South Node is, of course, at 0 degrees of Scorpio. So we are very tight in the Pluto square the nodes phase I want to touch on. And yeah, we're about to see that ingress here in about a week. So about to have the big nodal ingress here. So big shifts definitely underway. And I think we are at a point where we're really starting to feel what the value systems are that really do have the most inner resonance, and maybe not so much the exterior, but it's definitely more felt right now. And it's about what we build from that. And that can always take us far. And I think it'll take us far too when we're in the flow. Like this Pisces moon's going to want to do something creative and beautiful and artistic, but it's not going to want to fight and force things. That's just going to be frustrating, and it's going to feel like there's chaos everywhere. So, that's one thing about this trine today too, is if you're frustrated today or forcing things, you're not going with the flow of where things are trying to go for you right now. You're trying to put your ego in front of it. So be mindful of that, I would say. And trust me, I have to do the same right now, because as you know from my horoscope yesterday, I was very frustrated. I feel much better today. To be honest, feel much better. So still no internet, but I'm accepting that's my flow. That I cannot fight that anymore, right? So that's important. Also, Mars is at 28 degrees of Leo. So Mars is getting ready for his ingress into Virgo. But what's happening too is we're seeing Neptune, which is now retrograde. It went retrograde when I took that week off. So if you didn't know, Neptune has been retrograde for almost a week now, about 5 days. So we got that quincunx from Mars to Neptune. We have Neptune at 27 degrees and Pluto at 29. So they're within this 2-degree sextile. They're back in a tight sextile where they did separate for a while. And we're seeing Mars in Leo. Well, what's that? That's a quincunx. that's a yod, right? 2 quincunxes in a sextile. So we got this yod to Mars. We're also going to see a yod with Venus when Venus stations. So there's a lot of this yod energy towards this Leo. And we're also seeing Mars get ready to conjunct with Regulus. And Regulus is almost in the mix at 0 Virgo with this yod too, but it's a little off. But it is that Regulus energy that I think is very important. It is the heart of the lion. It takes heart in life right now. It takes courage. It takes an integrity. It takes being true to yourself. It's more about the authentic creative power that we present that is the most powerful, potent force on this planet. So we have to remember too that it's not always about the power of going upstream like a salmon, right? But the power to create in the way that the universe is flowing for us. And that creative power and that creative actualization can pay powerful dividends and beautiful and spiritual and divine dividends in our life too. But there's also this need to kind of force our ego into different scenarios. Like we want the universe to go a certain way. We want the energy and the flow to go a certain way so bad. And it's just not realistic ever, but now is where it can feel very karmic, very harsh, very like, why does it have to be this setback? Why do I have to go through this devastation or this hard trial in life? And I think some of it's the acceptance and the empowerment of going through a situation that gets us to the sweet spot and to the security of any situation and to a comfortable place, which I think we can find today. But definitely over the next couple days, the energy levels are pretty high. I think today is good energy, but it can definitely feel like it's backfiring. Like, oh, Brian said today is good energy, but I'm just like, what the, WTF? And that's just a really good significator that you're not going in the direction with the universe. And trust me, I'm gonna have to be mindful of that one too for myself. So try your best not to force your hand, force your muscles, flex on the direction things should be going right now. Try to just do your best to create in the flow of where things are going. That will definitely, in the end, I think make you feel like, again, like, oh yeah, there's more purpose to this. Like there's insights. Mercury's coming off the sextile to Uranus. We're also going to see the moon today, later in the evening, sextile Uranus. And in the morning, it's going to sextile Jupiter. So I didn't mention that. But this moon in Pisces is making some really nice aspects today. So I think the more we embrace the free-flowing creative nature, let the sensitivities be felt, let them kind of direct us. They're trying to take us in the way we need to go. Everything's going to be more abundant. Everything will be more connected. Everything will feel like it has more physical purpose. So everything will kind of start to feel like aha. A lot of ahas. A lot of that. Yeah. So overall, pretty good Friday. Definitely a good day to test the intuition and to see if, like, when you put your creative power somewhere, what happens, and are you forcing it? It's not that we can't force our way upstream like a salmon would. We can. It's just we're going to feel battered and bruised and exhausted by the time we get there, and it doesn't have to be that way. So try to use your creative potential in a way that doesn't feel like it's an ass kicking that you didn't want. It's different, I think, too, if you really want to strive, right? Pluto's back in Capricorn. If you are trying to strive for something and kind of like tidy up loose ends for a long-term plan or goal, and you got to work for it, then you know that there's benefit to the hard work, right? So it's not that everybody needs to take away their ambition today to just be in a flow. I think it depends on what emotional risk you want to put on the table to get these things, and is it worth it? So it's about kind of weighing out a little bit of risk reward with your own emotions, with your own energy. I think that could be helpful today as well. And in the tarot, we got the Five of Cups. I mean, I was kind of feeling that. There's a really good vibe, a really good energy today. But at the same token, it's so intense kind of emotionally, and we can feel like nothing's going our way, like nothing's going to work, really let down, really just in a state of like, this is like, that's never gonna happen. And that's really when you know, because you've given up kind of a little bit. When you get to that point, you don't even really, or you're questioning if you really want it anymore. If you want it, you're just going to pick your head up and keep going. If you don't, you're just going to, stop and get into the flow of finding something that feels safe today. You don't have to risk it for everything today. It's just about your own sort of risk, endurement for the day, if you will. Two of Swords upright. Maybe we gotta, make some decisions today. I think the best though is blindfolded. Like I do like that card because I think the mind can wanna, get a little caught up and like weigh out the pros and cons of each path that can be taken. But there's more power in closing the eyes and trusting that you feel which thing you need to do, which direction, what needs to be said, what needs to be learned. Really feel what that feels like and what would feel better for you. That will also be a nice little benefit. And the World card upright, all uprights today. Look at that. I think today can feel like we are reaching another level. Like we've kind of leveled up and we've learned a lot of lessons, and today we're kind of taking the next step and using the gifts that we have, using what we've learned from the past, and knowing that there's certain times to go after things fully and you know that you're committed and you want it, and then there's certain times to take your foot off the gas and chill out. And I think that this is a good test to see if you're ready to go to that next level, and like it's all going to be more of a feeling. Like you're just going to know, like, yeah, I'm going to do this because I want it. It feels good. It feels right. It feels in the flow. Or it doesn't. So, and if it doesn't, don't hang your head low like the Five of Cups and think that, it's all over, because it ain't over till it's over, right? All right. I love you all very much. I hope you have a great Friday, and I'll see you all for the weekend forecast tomorrow. Much love. Peace.